I've been camping alone for years, but after what happened last summer, I don't think I ever will again. It started off like any other trip. I drove deep into the woods, far from any designated campsite. I liked the solitude, the way the forest swallowed all the noise of civilization. Just me, the trees, and the crackling fire. By sundown, I had my tent set up, firewood stacked, and a pot of coffee brewing over the flames. The woods were unusually quiet that night. No crickets, no rustling leaves, just the occasional pop from the fire and the distant hoot of an owl. I tried not to think about it. I should have left then. It started with the footsteps, faint at first, barely audible over the fire. Slow, deliberate steps circling my campsite. I froze, listening, my heart pounding against my ribs. A deer? A coyote? Then I heard it, a whisper.
Let me in.
The voice was hoarse, just above a breath, but close. Too close. I spun around, my flashlight beam cutting through the trees. Nothing. Just empty forest. I swallowed hard, telling myself it was my imagination, a trick of the wind. But my gut said otherwise. I zipped up my tent, slid inside, and gripped my knife tight. My breathing was shallow, my ears straining for any sound. Minutes dragged by. Silence. Then, just as my body started to relax, I heard it again.
Let me in.
This time, it came from right outside my tent. I stopped breathing. My mind screamed at me to move, to run, but my body refused. I couldn't bring myself to look. I could feel it standing there. A shadow passed over the thin fabric of my tent, blocking out the moonlight.
Please let me in.
A fingernail scraped against the nylon. I panicked. My hand shot to the zipper, yanking it down in one swift motion. My flashlight illuminated the clearing. Nothing. The fire had burned low, casting flickering shadows against the trees, but I was alone. Or so I thought. I turned slowly, scanning the dark woods when I saw it. Just beyond the reach of my light, standing between the trees, was a figure, motionless, watching me. Its skin was pale, almost gray, and stretched too tightly over its bones. Its lips curled into a grin, revealing teeth that were too long, too sharp. I took a step back. It didn't move. Then, faster than I could react, it was gone. The moment my light flickered, it vanished. No movement, no sound. Just gone. I didn't sleep that night. I sat by the fire, knife in hand, flashlight gripped so tightly, my knuckles ached. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig, sent adrenaline coursing through my veins. The woods felt wrong, like the trees themselves were holding their breath. By sunrise, I'd made up my mind. I was packing up and getting the hell out. But when I unzipped my tent, my blood ran cold. The ground around my campsite was covered in footprints, bare, human-like prints circling my tent over and over. I don't remember packing. I don't remember throwing my gear into the car. All I remember is running, jumping into the driver's seat and flooring it down the dirt path, branches whipping against my windows. I didn't stop until I hit the main road. I told myself I was done camping. But curiosity is a funny thing. A few weeks later, I pulled up a map and traced my route, trying to pinpoint exactly where I had camped. That's when I found something that made my stomach twist into knots. The area where I had set up camp, it used to be a cabin. A man had lived there years ago, alone. Locals said he went crazy. One night he walked into town, rambling about something in the woods, something watching him. No one took him seriously, until he disappeared. When the sheriff checked his cabin, they found the door left wide open, his belongings untouched, but he was gone. They searched for weeks, but never found a body. Just a single word scratched into the wood of his front porch. Please.